there. So, wanted to talk about milkweeds and the Monarch butterflies. I'm wearing my little butterfly earrings today. I had a funeral yesterday, so try to do my makeup and try to wear bright stuff to get rid of the sadness. But we're all right, we're all right. So I never knew that you could actually propagate milkweed stems themselves. This was a little bit mind-blowing to me. I coincidentally found out when some of my butterflies on my patio needed more leaves because, as you know, one caterpillar can demolish a plant in no time. They're literally the hungry caterpillar. So I went outside one day and I was like, I'm just gonna snip a branch and I'm gonna put it in a vase of a little thing of water just to maybe keep it thriving, because you know, usually you cut it, it's like the leaves just, my mom would actually just take a leaf at a time and put them on a plate and then she'd release them because she had none in her yard. And we changed that. It was amazing. I brought my mom a couple leaves with some eggs on it. After 2-3 days, she had caterpillars growing. They're super teeny tiny. You know, in the beginning, you know, it's all good. They could live off of something like that for a week probably. And it just got to the point where I was desperate. And the nursery here, they use pesticide, and everyone I know, it just kills the caterpillars. They die. They don't thrive, the plant dies, and then you get the aphids, and they don't treat the aphids correctly. If you just hose the aphids off, or when you get a plant immediately and there's no caterpillars at all on it, I would douse mine with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I would hose it like crazy, shake the dirt off the roots, give it some fresh soil, you know, and you can even reuse the soil. You dump it, let it air dry, throw some diatomaceous earth in there. It seems like a lot, but if you're doing it just one at a time, it's really not too hard. So anyway, I discovered over time that it will propagate. So I wanted to show you, after it being in water about, you know, this deep. Some of them don't always thrive. I noticed that when because I would prune mine and I just throw the sticks away, and I wish I hadn't. But look at that. Look at this baby. Isn't that amazing? So, I mean, over time, I mean, you get your roots. And I noticed that, for example, if you're outside, you're desperate, you know, to get some more milkweeds, you don't want to wait, you know, quite a while for the seeds to grow off the pod. It takes time to get pods on your plant. You can absolutely go and cut a branch off. I would probably recommend, when you cut the branch, look for maybe a little branch that is thriving and cut right below that, and or even right above it. I feel like I've had more success that way. For example, if I were to like go outside and take this guy, I would probably cut him about here. And I would just like pop this guy off and pop this guy off. I just feel like this is more thriving up here, and it seems to work really well. Sometimes I just will cut and put it in, and I get lucky. And I just make sure I change the water, like if you're propagating anything else. I have quite a bit of pups here. This is the ones that don't have roots, but this guy got roots within like the last week. So I'm really excited about that. And then I go and I put it in soil. When the roots get really nice and long, you could put them in a little pot. I've propagated some where I've had buds, big old pods, within a month or two, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. You know, it's like when you're grafting a fruit tree. If it's already fruiting and you graft it, from what I know, I don't really do a whole lot of foods quite yet, I'm learning it. You know, you'll get fruit a lot sooner. And I just think that if you're someone who loves the monarchs and you're really wanting to help them, if you live in Florida, you really don't need to pull your milkweeds out, especially from about, I think, Tampa down. You don't need to worry about them migrating to Mexico. And if you're on Disney Plus, I believe, you could probably pull it up anywhere. There's this entire little documentary about the monarchs and how they're just struggling. These are swamp milkweeds. They get the orange flowers. They do get the aphids. And I usually keep a lot of my milkweeds in pots. There's plenty out in the yard. I'll typically go around and I will just wipe off the aphids, or I'll pop it. Or if I got the hose out in a close enough distance, I will hose the crud out of it. I just hold it down, I hose it, I get them off. You don't need to use the pesticides. You're gonna kill the butterflies. And I know it seems really consuming, but if you want it to be easier, get a big old hefty pot. It will get huge. It will get huge, I promise. Just try to keep the aphids off. Diatomaceous earth in the dirt, mix it around. I've even done neem oil on the edge to try to keep the ants away, the lizards. I usually love my little dinosaurs, but when it comes to me having a caterpillar on my patio, we start fighting. So I hope that helps, and happy saving the monarchs.